Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Walter Brown Arena on the campus of Boston University in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's Bay State Conference High School Varsity Girls Hockey Contest between the visiting Timberwolves of Walpole High School and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. As you can see, a lot of the Brookline players out on the benches. We're just waiting for the Zamboni to finish its rounds. This game was scheduled for a 6 p.m. puck drop, but we're probably going to start just a few minutes behind that just because Boston University had sort of a free skate event going on. There were a bunch of people out here skating just before the Zamboni came out. And so, you know, maybe a few minutes behind, but it looks like we're going to start roughly on time. And so this should be a fun one. Always fun when you've got an in-conference opponent. That's an opponent that you're playing every year. You know a lot of the same kids as you go up through your careers. You end up facing off against them over and over. This is the first matchup of the season between Brookline and Walpole. Brookline coming into this game with a 2-10 record. Last week, they got their second win of the season, 4-1 over the Wayland Weston Co-op. That was last Monday, the 16th. And then last Saturday, the 21st, Brookline fell to Braintree in a 2-0 shutout here at Walter Brown. And that is where Brookline's record currently stands. Meanwhile, for the Walpole Timberwolves, they have a 3-5-2 record and are coming off a big win against Wellesley, 3-1 this past Saturday. That win snapped a 5-game winless streak where Walpole went 0-4-1. But now they've got their third win of the year, and they're hoping to turn that into a winning streak. Brookline hoping to match Walpole in win totals after this game. Walpole coming into this one ranked 29th in Division II in the MIAA Power Rankings, while Brookline stands at 45th in the D2 rankings. Very important distinction. Very important distinction as Walpole currently in line for a spot in the playoffs. Brookline on the outside looking in. Even with a losing record, if you finish within the top 32 in the power rankings, you do earn a playoff spot. So I'm not sure. Nobody told me, but I think this might be senior night for the Brookline girls hockey team. And golly, I wish someone had told me. But that's what it's looking like as Brookline has brought out their seniors of the class of 2023 out on the ice for a pregame picture. Those seniors including number 7, a co-captain Julia Janowski, number 8, Grayson Davis, number 9, the other co-captain Riley Lackey, number 11, Sophia Hauser, number 12, Sophia Schneider, number 16, Maggie Coffey O'Reilly, number 22, Diane Lee. Number 27, Tina Cheng. Number 35, Rozzy Carew Lyons. And number 77, Jenna Rosetto. So a pretty sizable senior class for Brookline, a number of impact players. over the years. You know, this is a team, this is a program that the first time I covered them, I was covering them playing at Warrior Ice Arena, the Bruins practice rink, because it was in the middle of the 2020-2021 academic year when all of the COVID restrictions were really at their peak. And so they couldn't play here at Walter Brown because BU wouldn't allow anyone to play here during that year. So I covered a few games there, my first time covering this team, and so these seniors were sophomores back then. And some of these seniors, even as sophomores, were already on the varsity squad. So there are some players on the amongst this senior class that I have now covered, through some number of games or another, through 3 seasons now. And to me, that feels pretty special. Thank you all once again for tuning in. Once again, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan coming to you live from Walter Brown Arena for today's Bay State Conference Varsity High School Girls Hockey Contest between Brookline and Walpole. If you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams, including all home games for both Brookline girls and boys hockey here at Walter Brown this winter. And if you've got anything to say, I encourage you to say it in the live chat. It could be something as simple as go Brookline or go Walpole, whoever you're rooting for. I always appreciate people bringing the good vibes. Feel free to shout out or cheer on your favorite player out on the ice. Let us know where you're tuning in from. That's always fun to hear with these online live streams, because sometimes you get people tuning in from different states or even different countries. But wherever you are, it's fun to know where you're tuning in from. Some of the more important reasons, if you notice any technical difficulties with the live stream, whether in terms of visual or audio, I encourage you to say something in the live chat. It might be something I've already noticed, and it might be something I can't fix, but it might be something that I didn't notice, and it might be something that I can fix. So, don't hesitate to speak up. And finally, if you notice me flubbing anyone's names, or if I have a jersey number wrong on my roster, especially on the Walpole side, since I haven't covered them before this season, I encourage you to correct me in the live chat. I want to give these young ladies the best possible coverage I can, and to me, part of that includes getting their names right. And with that in mind, now that both teams are out on the ice, let's take a look at the rosters for the two teams coming into this one. We'll start with the visitors in their black jerseys and orange jersey numbers, the Walpole High Timberwolves. Going in order of jersey number for Walpole, first off we have a junior number 1, Ainsley Roof. Next up we have a junior number 3, Elena Govoni. A senior number 5, Shannon Morris. A senior number 6, Sophia Theophilou. Like I said, if I'm flubbing any last names, please, or any first names, if I'm flubbing any names at all, please let me know in the live chat. A freshman, number 8, Lily Bisanti. A junior, number 9, Ava England. A freshman, number 10, Caitlin Caulfield. A freshman, number 11, Kaylee Walsh. A sophomore, number 12, Ava Dacey. A freshman, number 13, Olivia Bonarigo. A freshman, number 16, Emily Meehan. A sophomore, number 17, Maddie Graceffa. A freshman, number 18, Kate Schneider. A junior, number 19, Katie Colleran. A freshman, number 20, Nora Kelly. A sophomore, number 21, Cassie Burke. A senior, number 30, Madison Clark. And a freshman, number 31, Nadia Michienzi. So that is the roster for the Walpole High Timberwolves. Once again, if you are a Walpole fan tuning in and you notice me absolutely butchering the pronunciation of someone's last name, please don't hesitate to let me know in the live chat. Want to give these student athletes the best coverage I can. But flipping over to the other side, let's take a look at the home team on the ice in their white jerseys with dark blue jersey numbers, the Brookline High Warriors. Again, going in order of jersey number, first off, we have a sophomore, number 1, Aurora Charbonneau. A freshman, number 2, Emma Lurie. A sophomore, number 4, Casey McCarthy. A senior captain, number 7, Julia Janowski. A senior, number 8, Grayson Davis. A senior captain, number 9, Riley Lackey. A senior, number 11, Sophia Hauser. A senior, number 12, Sophia Schneider. A sophomore, number 13, Shayna Chin. A freshman, number 15, Clara Tebow. A senior, number 16, Maggie Coffey O'Reilly. A sophomore, number 17, Izzy Pace. A sophomore, number 18, Soo Jin Koo. A sophomore, number 21, Etta Reed. A senior, number 22, Diane Lee. A freshman, number 24, Caroline Hughes. A sophomore, number 25, Birdie Hawkins. A senior, number 27, Tina Chang. A senior, number 35, Rosie Carew Lyons. A junior, number 37, Meredith Alland. And a senior, number 77, Jenna Rosetto. Head coach of the Brookline High girls hockey team is Nick Sama, with assistant coaches Carly Radovich and Mark Haley. So that is the roster for the Brookline High Warriors here today. We're about a minute and a half out from opening announcements and opening puck drop. It's Brookline versus Walpole. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan at Walter Brown Arena, and you are watching Brookline High Hockey.
Tebow takes it back, backhand pass, gets up to Janowski, winds and fires and scores! Janowski tries a backhander, misses her target, but it gets to Hauser. Hauser, a long shot, and that one is in! Now stolen away, a pass to Chin. Chin fires and scores! Shayna Blankstein Chin! Open chance, Izzy Pace, off to the races, shot, score! Izzy Pace ties it up!
All right, pregame clock has run out. We got a couple notes in the live chat from the Walpole Girls Ice Hockey official YouTube channel. It's clock. JK, great job. Thank you very much, Walpole Girls Ice Hockey. I don't know if you heard my entire roster read off, but if you notice me flubbing any names of the team, again, please let me know. I want to, give your players, the best coverage I can. Looks like we're not going to have looks like we're not going to have starting lineups and national anthem or anything like that. That's not uncommon when you have these later games that they just decide to go straight to puck drop. Once again, if you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. Let me know in the live chat if there's anything you want to say. like I said, correct me on some names, or let me know if there are any technical difficulties. I have to for example, I have to manually change the exposure for my camera when I switch from covering basketball to covering hockey. So I had to drop the brightness a lot because, of the heavy white of the ice. So if this ends up looking a little too bright, let me know. I can drop it a little further. But for now, we've got the two teams out on the ice. First period, 15 minutes on the clock. Warriors and Timberwolves. Puck is dropped. Here we go. It's pushed back to the Walpole end. They're trying to move it through the neutral zone, but it's stolen back for a second by Brookline, taken back by the Timberwolves. Pushing that one forward was number 17, Maddie Graceffa, and that's going to go for an early icing call. Between the pipes for Brookline today, I believe, is the senior number 35, Rosie Carew-Lyons. For Walpole, their own senior netminder, Madison, as the official team YouTube channel said it, Madison Clark. No, Madison Clark. And here's the face-off. It goes to Grayson Davis. Pass back to Jenna Rosetto. Sends it up the line for Davis. Davis trying to fight against several Timberwolves. Now it's pinned up against the boards. And Graceffa pushes it out to the neutral zone. Rosetto pushes it back in, and it's sent right back out by number 12, Ava Dacey. Brookline trying to push it forward. It's backhanded into the Walpole end and sent right back out. That's going to slide all the way down, and Rosetto's going to take it as some line changes are made. Pass up for Izzy Pace. Pass misses her initial target, almost moved along. A couple deflections, it goes to the back line for the Timberwolves. Number 9, Ava England, pushes it up, and that's going to be another icing against Walpole. So we'll have another face-off in the Walpole end. Face-off won by Brookline. Quick shot is deflected up into the netting. Clara Thibault couldn't get that shot off cleanly. It was a nice face-off pass by Shayna Chin to set up her line mate for a potential shot, but good defense by Walpole, just redirecting it up into the high netting. Another face-off. This one won by Walpole. England pushes it around the boards. Pinned up against the boards and skating out with it for a brief second before losing her footing was number 20 as Shayna Chin gains the blue line for Brookline. Since the long pass across goes off the skate of Thibault and she couldn't collect it. It's taken back by England. England passes it off the boards to herself, fires a shot, misses wide of the net, and Chin takes it around the back. Chin pass, miscommunication. It's taken back by the T-Wolves. Long shot misses wide off the stick of number 13, Olivia Bonarigo. England tries a long shot, turned aside by the stick of Rosie Carew-Lyons. Sujin Koo tries to move it up, blocked by Bonarigo. Long shot saved by Carew-Lyons. Deflects into open space. Skating with it now is Thibault. Thibault gains the blue line, whiffs on a pass and tries to keep it, but it's taken away by the Timberwolves. Long clear is going to lead to the third icing call in the first couple minutes here for Walpole. I mentioned Walpole's number 20 a minute ago, but action was moving so fast I didn't get a chance to say her name. Nora Kelly is number 20 for Walpole. Face off, deflecting several different ways. It goes to the back boards. Attempted clear, moves up the ice. Jenna Rosetto walling off that clear, keeping it in the Walpole end. She backhands it off the boards, and now it's a long clear, and that's going to be icing again, coming off the stick of Ava Dacey. So Brookline getting a number of face-off opportunities in the opposing end. Hasn't turned into a score yet, but we'll see if they can take advantage as this face-off is controlled by Walpole. Dacey sends it around the boards. It is collected by Graceffa. Graceffa finds an open teammate who gains the blue line but mistimed offsides. as Katie Colleran was trying to carry the puck, but just slightly mistimed it with number 3, Elena Gavoni. So now a neutral zone face-off is pushed all the way down to the Walpole end by Grayson Davis. Chased down by Bonarigo, touched it along. Her line mate wasn't quite ready for it, wasn't looking for it. Now it's pinned to the boards. Still scrumming for it along the boards. Finally sent around the back end. Taken back by Izzy Pace. Pass to the middle. Just broken up. Intended for Julia Janowski. A big defensive play there by Graceffa. Might have potentially saved a goal. Now up against the boards. Someone lost their footing. Just barely kept on the attack end by Julia Janowski. Clara Thibault trying to keep up the forecheck as Brookline makes a line change. A pass into open ice. Gets away from its target. Gavoni takes it, sends it off the boards, but it's taken back by Brookline. Skating with it was Sophia Hauser, broken up but recovered by Hauser. Hauser passes across. Skating with it now. And sending it around is Shayna Chin. Weird ricochet off the boards. England takes it, deflects into open space where it's taken by the T-Wolves but taken back by Riley Lackey. Lackey sends it around the boards. Bonarigo trying to send it back the long way around. Lackey keeps it on the attack end. Just going back and forth right now as Bonarigo takes it once again. Trying to move it against the forecheck pressure from Thibault. Gets it out. And it's cleared out to the neutral zone. But taken back by Lackey. Sent off the boards for Suchin Koo, who pushes it into the Walpole end. Taken by England. England lifts a pass up. Gets away from the target. And it's pushed back into the Walpole end by Rosetto. England takes it back, sends it up the line, and gets past Rosetto into the neutral zone and into the Brookline end. A race for the puck is going to prevent the icing. But Lackey chases it down, passes up, finds a target. Another quick pass, gets up to, I believe, Janowski, now given for Izzy Pace. Pace skating, fires a shot, saved, made by Clark. So Brookline, despite all of the chances inside the Walpole end, that was their first real shot on goal so far. And a nice save made by Madison Clark. Off the faceoff, it's controlled by Brookline. Hauser sends it up the line for Pace. Pace comes out with it. Pass broken up again, gets away from Janowski. Etta Reed trying to keep it on the attack, and Pace pushes it around the boards. Scrum for the puck. Janowski sends it out, but it's just turned away from the net defensively by the Timberwolves. An outlet pass broken up by Pace. Janowski keeps it on the attack. It's taken back by Walpole's number 21, Cassie Burke. Lifted out to the neutral zone. Brookline trying to push it back. And out of it comes Gavoni. Gavoni skating with it. A player lost her stick as Gavoni gains the blue line. Gavoni forcing her way through, approaches, can't corral it enough to push it past Carew Lyons. She had a good position to save it as Etta Reed now pushes it around. Pass up from Pace to Janowski. Janowski fighting her way through, lifts it into the Walpole end as Brookline makes a forward line change. No, a full change actually. Walpole trying to take advantage. Long pass up to Graceffa. Graceffa can't fend off the pressure. Coming from behind to take it was Grayson Davis. Long pass up gets to Koo. Broken up by Bonarigo. Now again, knocking it back and forth through the neutral zone. Walpole takes it, gains the blue line. Skating with it is number 11, Walsh, as it tries to jam it in the corner there, but it's covered up by Carew Lyons. Kaylee Walsh keeping that on the attack there for Walpole. And now with 9 minutes left in the first, we are still scoreless. A face-off in the Brookline end is corralled by the Timberwolves. England passes across. Bonarigo fires, and that, oh my gosh, no goal! It bounced down off the top bar, but didn't cross the red line. Oh my gosh, England winding up. Shot is blocked. Potential turnaround chance, but we got a whistle stoppage. Is this going to be a delayed penalty against Brookline as Clara Thibault was about to go on a breakaway, lost her footing anyhow, but it wouldn't have mattered because a delayed penalty called against Brookline. This is against number 77, Jenna Rosetto. Olivia Bonarigo almost broke the scoreless tie there. Her long shot deflected off of somebody, went off the top bar and dropped down, not past the red line. Now a shot from England is blocked. And a long clear to start the penalty kill for Brookline. As Bonarigo chases it down, this will be a two-minute minor against Rosetto. Grayson Davis applying the forecheck, taking it back on the shorthand. Just broken up by the poke check of Bonarigo. Now taken by Gavoni. Gavoni, long pass up to Graceffa. Graceffa looking around, finds her target, just broken up, taken away from Katie Colleran. Walpole trying to stay with it. It's sent off the boards and backhanded away by Shayna Chin. Gavoni now going to take it. Pass goes up. Gets away from the target. That was Burke. As this one colliding against the boards. It is now taken by Bonarigo. Bonarigo going to skate with it. She's got a bit of a lane. Weaving through. Shot saved by Carew Lyons. Wait, another chance. Save again by Carew Lyons. Graceffa was given a bit of a gimme there as the Brookline attempted clear wound up right at her stick. But Carew Lyons with a couple of nice saves to keep this one scoreless. 48 seconds still left on the Walpole penalty. Face-off goes into open ice. Trying to take it around the corner, trying to force a pass through, I believe is Walsh. Walsh turns around, shot goes wide. Brookline tries to clear, it's walled off by Burke. Burke sends it down the line. Finds her target, I believe that is number 18, Katie Schneider in the corner. Brookline again tries to clear, again walled off by Burke. High shot, misses wide of the net. As England, I believe, takes it back, passes back, shot from the point, almost redirected in, but saved by Carew Lyons. Pass back from Schneider. Nora Kelly with it at the point. Pass, slightly broken up, but does get to England. England sends it around the back. And another attempted clear, again walled off by Burke. Schneider passes it back to Burke. Long shot, turned aside again by Carew Lyons. Schneider again recovers. Burke keeps it on the attack, sends it around the boards. Chased down. And actually we're at even strength now. I didn't even notice. But now back to 5-on-5 as Brookline lifts it out. And this one is not going to be icing because it goes all the way to the net. After it is blocked by Clark, taken back by the Timberwolves, Brookline makes a full change. And this long push will go for icing. So no goals for Walpole on that power play, but not for a lack of shots on goal. A number of nice saves made by Rosie Carew Lyons. 6:05 on the clock here in the first as we get ready for another Walpole end face-off. Face-off sent to the far side boards. Pinned up against him now, and out of it comes Gavoni. Gavoni lifts it off the boards. Now Graceffa sends it off the boards, and it's taken back in the Brookline end by Davis. Davis sends it up. It's touched ahead, but taken by Gavoni. Gavoni gains the blue line, but gets pinned to the boards by Pace. Recovers, tries to push it. Weird deflection. Backhanded attempted shot. Nowhere to go off the shot from Katie Colleran. Now the pass goes back. It's taken. Shot goes wide off the stick of Ava Dacey. Recovered now by Davis. Davis pass up. Misses her target. Birdie Hawkins taken back by Graceffa. Shot was blocked by Sophia Hauser. Davis tries to clear. Weirdly goes off the boards, but is collected. And no trip there, is lost footing by, I think, Izzy Pace. Brookline makes a full change as Walpole moves it up to the neutral zone. It's broken up by Rosetto and taken now by Shayna Chin. Chin, pass for Tebow. Tebow gains the blue line. Trying to fight her way up the line and into the corner. Taken away by Gavoni now. Gavoni skating out with it. Lifts it off the boards, and again, that's going to go pretty far Will it be far enough for an icing? No. May have said it was deflected, but Brookline trying to clear it out now. Ava England trying to keep it in the Brookline end, but it's taken by Chin, passed up to Rosetto. Rosetto looking for a pass, gets it up to Tebow. Tebow tries a pass, broken up. Good stick there on the defense, and now a breakaway chance. Nora Kelly, this is 2-on-none. Shot is in! Nora Kelly with the first goal of the game. That one started with a very nice poke check from England on the back line off an attempted pass as Brookline was trying for a rush, and then the deflection just went the right way, right to the stick of Nora Kelly with nobody in front of her. Brookline now starting on an attack, fires a shot turned away by Clark, but with that goal by Nora Kelly, you know, possibly with a credited assist to Ava England, it is now a 1-0 lead for the Timberwolves. No icing this time as it's taken around the back by Etta Reed. Reed sends it off the boards, but it's deflected right back to the back end and sent around by the T-Wolves. Davis tries to clear it out, but it's taken by Gavoni. Gavoni sends a pass through. It's knocked down, but right to a teammate. It's sent back for Bonarigo, now sent up. Attempted one-timer just off the mark, off the pass from Walsh. Recovered for a bit by England, and it was taken out to the neutral zone. And so that's going to be an offsides call. I believe against Walpole, or do they call icing? What do they call? Well, either way, we're going to have a face-off in the Walpole end. Clock reads 3 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock. Face-off goes back to Rosetto. Rosetto keeping it on the attack, fires a shot, but it's blocked. Bunch of weird ricochets. Tebow fighting for it, gets it to Chin, gets it back to Tebow, turnaround shot, just misses wide. Almost got a lucky ricochet off a defender there. Now Gavoni skating with it. It's touched all the way down to Carew Lyons, who turns it aside. It's taken by Rosetto. Off the boards, ricochets taken by Chin. Chin pass back to Rosetto. Broken up. Graceffa with an open chance. Shot save at point blank by Carew Lyons. .2:32 on the clock here in the first. 1-0 Walpole leads Brookline. Face-off is corralled by the Warriors. Etta Reed bringing it around the back. Trying to fend off the forecheck, but Walsh takes it, tries to send a pass through. Couldn't get a stick on it as it goes through the crease into open ice. Hughes sends it around the back, taken again by Walsh. Walsh sends it back around the other way. Now a pass goes back to England. England sends it across for Bonarigo. Couldn't keep it in the attack end. And so Walpole forced to reset. Caroline Hughes now takes it for Brookline. Caroline Hughes off to the races. Couldn't get a clean shot off. But she recovers the puck, passes it back. That pass is blocked by Walsh. A backhander comes in wide. Etta Reed trying to keep it on the attack, but it pokes out to the neutral zone, where it is taken by Kelly. Kelly does not pass. Glove save by Carew Lyons. Kelly sort of faked the pass to get the defender leaning one way so she could launch a shot, but good glove by Rosie Carew Lyons on that one. And also some nice get-back defense by Katie Schneider on the other end as she hindered a potential shot for Caroline Hughes. Face-off corralled by the T-Wolves. Pass goes up to Graceffa. Graceffa's shot blocked by Tebow. Chin trying to force it out. Chin muscles it out to the neutral zone, and it's going all the way down to the Walpole end. Chasing it down is Cassie Burke. Attempted clear is kept on the attack end by Lackey. Burke has it pinned up against the boards, and coming out with it again is Gavoni. Gavoni's been doing a nice job chasing down those pucks behind the net as Davis sends it to that back end. 1 minute left here in the first period. Walpole trying to work on the clear, and we've got a delayed penalty coming as we saw a couple players go into the boards there. And I do believe they are going to call going high into the boards against Elena Gavoni. So Brookline will have their first chance on the power play. With 49.5 seconds left, unless Brookline scores before the period ends, this power play will bleed into the second. Face-off sent to the near side boards. It's backhanded into open ice and immediately cleared out by Colleran. Around the back it goes, I think, a little farther than Janowski was expecting, but she does get a pass up to Izzy Pace. Pace manages to get a pass to Janowski. Pass further up, just out of reach of Suchin Koo. Suchin Koo chases it down, backhand pass to Janowski. Janowski tries to send it through. Pace couldn't get a stick on it, but the puck squirts loose. Janowski tried to send it through the middle, but Pace was not back on her feet. Cleared out now by Graceffa. Around the boards it goes. Colleran trying to chase it down on the shorthand and pinning it to the corner. Janowski wrestles it out and pushes it forward to Pace. Pace, pass across to Koo, and that is going to end the first period. The score at the end of one, the Walpole Timberwolves 1, the Brookline Warriors 0. Lone goal so far coming from Nora Kelly, assisted by Ava England. At this first intermission, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about Language Virtual. Language Virtual is a nonprofit organization made by Brookline High School students in order to help other students all over the world. Language Virtual offers free English language lessons online to students around the globe. These lessons are taught by volunteer high school students, many of them from right here in Brookline, but some from other towns as well. So if you're a Walpole High student, still keep listening. These students are recruited by Language Virtual to teach these ELL lessons through the simplest, most tried and true method of learning a language: conversation. To date, Language Virtual has recruited over 100 teachers to teach over 700 students across more than 10 different countries. And with the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, Language Virtual has seen an influx of students of Ukrainian descent displaced by the war, and hoping these English lessons can help them adjust to their new living situations. Visit languagevirtual.org to find out how you can register, either as a volunteer high school student teacher or as a student in need of these English language lessons. You can also donate money to Language Virtual online to help them continue teaching students in need and fostering these worldwide connections. Once again, that's languagevirtual.org. And you can find the link to that website for Language Virtual down in the description section down below. And remember, if you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams, including all Brookline hockey home games, girls and boys hockey here at Walter Brown throughout this winter season. And if you've got anything to say it in the live chat. We've had some good vibes going so far. And hope we get to see some more good hockey in the second period. From Walter Brown, Walpole leads Brookline 1-0. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'm going to take a break off the mic for this intermission, but I'll be back with the second period. Stay tuned. Hello again, everybody. Back on the mic, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan here at Walter Brown Arena on the campus of Boston University in Boston, Massachusetts, bringing you this Bay State Conference High School Varsity Girls Hockey Contest between the Brookline High Warriors and the Walpole High Timberwolves. Right now, the T-Wolves with a 1-0 lead heading into the second period, although the Warriors will be starting this second period with a minute and about 10.5 seconds of power play following a late cross-check penalty against Walpole's Elena Govoni. The lone goal so far has come from Walpole's number 20, Nora Kelly, a freshman scoring off the assist of a nice defensive poke check by junior Ava England. It'll be interesting to see how these two teams how these two teams adjust between the first and second period. We saw a bit of Walpole's defensive strategy. They almost play their defense, their even strength defense almost plays like it's on the penalty kill. You know, it's very much, crowd up the crease and crowd up the slot, make sure there's no real opportunity for a clean shot, and that might result in some difficulties in transitioning out of your own end, which I think is part of the reason there were so many icing calls against Walpole in that first period. When you don't have another teammate coming to the same area as you, when you're chasing down that puck on defense, then you don't really have anyone to pass it to try and get out there, especially if the priority is more to sink back towards the net. And so a lot of times, Walpole just has to go for these really long clears that result in icing calls and, kind of keep them on their back heels there. Or back skates, however you might say it. But so far, that defensive strategy has been working. According to the Walter Brown scoreboard, just 3 shots on net for Brookline in that first period, despite a fair amount of time spent in that Walpole end. Walpole did a good job keeping the puck pinned to the boards and, like I said, sagging in whenever Brookline tried to make an approach. So it'll be interesting to see how Brookline might adjust against that offensively. Remember, as always, if you enjoy this live stream, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams, including all home games for Brookline High girls and boys ice hockey this season. And if you got anything to say it in the live chat. So here we'll see how Brookline handles the awkward situation of starting a power play at center ice with less than 2 minutes at the start of it, basically, because it's always kind of an awkward transition for teams. It's not the way they are used to starting a power play, so it can be a little awkward, like that awkward slip and fall off the faceoff. But Brookline does keep control of it, and around the boards it goes to Janowski, broken up from Izzy Pace, but recovered by Julia Janowski, sends a backhander across the slot, but no one there, and it's taken by Olivia Bonarigo. Bonarigo trying to skate out with it. Dangerous deflection, but no one was there to take it back. It's cleared out to the neutral zone. Riley Lackey sends it up to the Walpole end, but it's cleared right back out and around the boards. And again, you can see the awkwardness. I think Brookline forgot for a second that they're on the power play, as Rosie Carew-Lyons was signaling for an icing call, which doesn't happen for the shorthanded team. Pushed into the Brookline end by Ava England. Taken around the back by Jenna Rosetto, passed across to Riley Lackey and sent back around the boards, where it's going to be taken by Izzy Pace. Pass misses. Janowski taken back by Walpole's Maddie Graceffa. Brookline pushes it into the Walpole end, cleared right back out. Grayson Davis whiffs a couple times trying to push it back into the attack end. Instead, it's taken by Bonarigo. Pass off the boards. And that time called for icing as we are back on even strength. So both teams 0 for 1 on the power play so far, and with the awkward timing of that icing, we will have a face-off in the Walpole end. Face-off won by Brookline, goes back to Sophia Hauser. Hauser, long shot is blocked, sent into the corner where Suchin Koo takes it. Now Shayna Chin tries to take it. Battling with Cassie Burke. She gets the puck, skates out with it, tries a pass, but it's broken up, and Hauser misread it as it slides into the neutral zone. Now pushed forward, pushed back, collected by Burke. Burke skating through the neutral zone, finds a bit of a lane, and now gains the blue line. Burke still skating, tries a backhand pass, walled off by Etta Reed. Now the puck taken back by Nora Kelly. Pass goes to the middle, almost a one-timer chance for either Kate Schneider or Katie Collar, and I couldn't quite see the number properly. Now into the boards, it's taken by Hauser, pass around the back for Clara Thibault. Thibault awkwardly pushes it forward, but it's taken by Chin. Chin gains the blue line, backhands it to the back boards, where it's taken around the back. Passed up the middle, finds a target. That pass broken up, stolen away by Lackey. Lackey backhand pass deflects out of the reach of Thibault. And now Suchin Koo and Ava England tangled up as this one's pressed against the boards. Walpole tries to clear again, but it's taken back. Shot is turned aside by Madison Clark. Walpole tries to clear. Lackey keeps it on the attack end, but now it's cleared out by Kelly. Racing down for the puck, not going to get there in time. That is an icing call. .11:58 on the clock here in the second. Still a 1-0 Walpole lead. Face-off is controlled by Brookline. Pass goes back to Lackey. Tries to pass it up the line. Not there, but it deflects to Izzy Pace. Pass back to Janowski. Janowski's long shot misses well wide. Chased down by Grayson Davis, but couldn't push it around. Weird deflection, almost a chance for Brookline, but it is taken back by Graceffa. Pass goes off a skate, gets away. Taken back by Davis. Davis lost her footing, and that is going to be a call against the Timberwolves. And so number 21, Cassie Burke, will be going to the box, and Brookline will have their second power play chance on a 2-minute minor. Face-off, deflects, kicked off the boards by Hauser. Bonarigo tries to clear. Again, Hauser keeps it on the attack, but goes right to the stick of a Timberwolf, and it's cleared out by England. Chasing it down is Etta Reed, and Elena Gavoni on the forecheck, but it's taken back by Brookline. Skating around the back is Davis. Davis, long pass up to Julia Janowski. Janowski weaving her way across the blue line. Long shot turned aside by Clark. Now skating on the shorthand. This is Colleran. Chasing it down. Shot goes wide. Around the boards it goes. Recovered by Gavoni. Walpole keeping up that shorthanded pressure. As Colleran trying to send it back around. They're just ringing it round the rosy there to kill clock on this penalty. Brookline just trying to push it forward. And it's finally sent down to the Walpole end, but it's taken immediately by England. England sends a long pass up the line for Gavoni. And Gavoni sends it off a skate, and it's cleared out to the neutral zone by Brookline. But now Walpole again skating it with it as if they're not the team on the penalty kill. Brookline just struggling to get on the attack here. England clears it up the line. Chased down again by Reed. And Reed can't get past Colleran. And it's taken again by the Timberwolves. Pass into open space to Bonarigo. It's taken back by Shayna Chin now. Chin weaving through into the neutral zone. Still skating with it. Gains the blue line. Approach shot. Saved by Clark. Taken around the back by Bonarigo. Bonarigo skating with it. Lost the puck. Taken back by Brookline, but couldn't fully clear it. And it's pushed ahead by Walsh, and now we are back at even strength. Burke out of the penalty box as Brookline takes it back. Lackey, a long pass up to Tebow, whose pass is off the mark, taken back by Bonarigo. Bonarigo passes it, misses everybody, and Lackey tried to pass it, gets away from Koo. Lackey now battling with Kelly along the boards, and a few other players join in. Coming out with it now is Schneider. Schneider fakes, tries a shot, but cannot get a clean one off with Chin on defense. Chin clears it out of the back, but it is taken back by number 12, Dacey. Attempted clear, walled off this time by Burke. Long shot, saved by Carew Lyons, as that one was almost deflected in. So Brookline 0 for 2 on the power play. And you got to give credit to the Walpole forecheck there, as their forward pressure was tremendous on that penalty kill. Not allowing Brookline to really get any chance at the net on that power play. This is Burke sending it up the line to Colleran. Now back to Burke. Burke winds for a long shot. Save by Carew Lyons. Face-off is taken for a second by Brookline. Sophia Hauser trying to fend off Elena Gavoni. And through several deflections, Hauser gets it out and gets it up to Birdie Hawkins. Hawkins pushes it across the blue line, but it's immediately cleared out. And that will be an icing call. And Brookline, after that icing, makes a forward line change after their third line manages to get it into the attack end for a favorable face-off opportunity. Face-off won by Walpole, goes back to Bonarigo. Bonarigo skating around, surveying her options, gets a pass that misses everybody. And no icing this time, as I believe they called a deflection. Carew Lyons passed it around the back to Reed. That pass intercepted by Kelly. Pass goes through everybody, almost accidentally knocked in by Pace, but she takes the puck, tries to skate through with it, broken up by Kelly, but now cleared out by Hauser. Corralled by England. England skating around the back. Since a long pass up for Kelly, misses the mark. Knocked loose, but Hauser lost her footing, and now Walsh gets to push it into the attack end for Walpole. Kelly trying to take it around the back. Sends a pass back to England. Shot blocked and intercepted by Janowski. Pass up to Davis. Brookline got a bit of an odd man rush. Pace weaves around one defender. Tries to approach. Was just out of her stick's reach, and she couldn't get a clean shot off. It's turned aside by Clark. Now Walsh skating on the counter. Gains the blue line. Chasing it down, pass deflected into the air by Lackey. Taken now by Davis, sent off the boards. Deflects forward, taken by Janowski. Janowski trying to muscle her way through several defenders, and it's knocked away by Burke. Now Burke weaving through. This is a one-on-one chance. Cassie Burke against Riley Lackey, gets around, tries a shot, saved by Carew Lyons. And Lackey recovers it and pushes it into the neutral zone. Boy, it's rare you see a real one-on-one chance in hockey. One forward against one defender as that long shot is saved by the glove of Carew Lyons. And while Burke brought a nice deke move to get around Lackey, Lackey did a good job helping to seal off the middle, make sure Burke wasn't going to have an ideal angle on that shot, and Carew Lyons covered the area well for the save. Face-off won by Walpole. England sends it into the corner. Chased down by Graceffa. Graceffa tries to send a pass through too much traffic, and it's covered up by Carew Lyons. .6:06 on the clock here in the second period. Face-off is won by Gavoni. Sent across to Bonarigo. Bonarigo winds and fires. Turned away by the stick of Carew Lyons. Recovered by Graceffa. Passed through to the slot, and it's backhanded in. The puck deflected just enough to sit in the slot, and it was noticed by, I believe, Elena Gavoni. I didn't quite see the jersey number there of who knocked it in. I know the assist goes to Graceffa, with perhaps a secondary assist to Bonarigo. But either way, that goal makes it 2-0 in Walpole's favor. Kelly sends a long pass up, just gets away from Schneider, and a hard collision into the boards. It's passed over to Walsh. Pass just misses an open Kelly. Burke winds and fires, saved by Carew Lyons. Recovered, shot from Dacey, sent dangerously into the crease, and it's covered up by Carew Lyons, and some pushing and shoving around the crease after the end of that play. So 2-0 in favor of Walpole. That second goal for right now, I am saying, was scored by Elena Gavoni, but if the PA announcer says something different, then I'll know. Or if anyone in the live chat noticed, please let me know. Walpole bringing the forward pressure as Brookline tries to clear. Davis sends a pass, deflects, but it's chased down by Pace, knocked away by Dacey. Janowski takes it back, tries to take it back to the neutral zone, but it was across the blue line when her stick first touched it. That will be offsides. Face-off is won by Walpole. Pass just gets away from Colleran, but it's recovered by Bonarigo. Now Davis steals it back, gets a pass to Janowski. Pass broken up away from Pace and cleared out to the neutral zone. Davis takes it, sends it off the boards into the Walpole end, chased down by Gavoni. Gavoni skating, lifts it out to the neutral zone, finds a target. That's Graceffa, but it's broken away from her and taken by Davis, sent out to the neutral zone, sent right back to the Brookline end where it's taken by Janowski. Janowski skating through the neutral zone, pass up for Davis, gets out of her reach, and it's taken by Bonarigo. Bonarigo now skating through the neutral zone. And Bonarigo still attacking with it. I did not hear the PA announcer at all, 'cause it sounds like a freaking subway PA. So you can't understand a word. Brookline trying to clear it out. For now, I will still say that that was Gavoni who scored that one. Again, if any one of the viewers saw it differently on this live stream, please let me know in the live chat. Reed clears it out, but it's taken by Bonarigo, sent off the boards, collected by Gavoni. Gavoni's shot blocked by Hauser. Gavoni chased it down in the corner, pass blocked by Hauser. Hauser takes it in the other corner, long clear, and this one might go for an icing, and it will. 3:27 on the clock here in the second. It's a 2-0 lead for the visiting Timberwolves. Face off. They get tied up. It's pushed forward, but it's taken by Dacey. Now that one got a bit tangled up, and it's cleared out to the neutral zone by Tebow. Taken by Burke, sent off the boards. And it gets up to Schneider. Schneider skating with it. 3-on-1. Pass just misses Walsh. Walsh sends it back around to Schneider. Schneider fends off the pressure. Gets it back to Dacey. Dacey across to Burke. Burke winds and fires, and it's caught by Carew Lyons. Just barely knocked out. Almost a juicy rebound for the Timberwolves. Sent into the corner for Walsh. Walsh passes along the back to Schneider. Now back to Dacey. Across to Burke. Burke skating, fires again, save again by Carew Lyons. Now Tebow passes up for Chin. Chin skating with it, picking up speed, gains the blue line, one defender to beat, trying to come around, no angle for the shot as she now comes around the back. Surveying her options, just has to pass it back to Etta Reed, and Reed lost it back in the neutral zone, and that's going to be an offside penalty. Or, well, not a penalty, but just an offsides. Excuse me. Face-off is won by Walpole, controlled by Bonarigo. Bonarigo sends it up to Gavoni. Gavoni knocked away from her into the Brookline end where it's chased down by Hauser. Hauser lost track of it, and it's taken back by Gavoni around the back. Pass through to the slot. Almost a big chance for Colleran. Collaren's pass ricochets off a skate. Almost a chance for Graceffa. It goes all the way back to the back line. Shot goes wide. Recovered by Bonarigo. Bonarigo taking it around the back. Pass misses Graceffa, but she chases it down. Graceffa poked loose, but recovers, forces a pass through to Colleran. Colleran tries to send it back, gets back to England. Now into the corner. Graceffa tangled up with Janowski, and out of it comes Gavoni. Tries to jam one in the corner, and Carew Lyons blocks that one right at the corner there to prevent another score for Walpole. Face-off won by Walpole. This is Burke. Pass up the line to Walsh. Walsh sends it around the back. Taken by Caroline Hughes. Hughes gets it out to the neutral zone, but it's pushed right to the Brookline end. And after a deflection, it goes around the corner, taken by Rosetto, sent around the other corner. Hughes tries to backhand pass, but it's taken by Walsh. Walsh pushes it wide of the net. Recovered around the back by Schneider. Sent around back to Dacey. Across misses Burke. 1 minute left in the period. Casey McCarthy pushes it into the neutral zone, and now Hughes backhands it into the Walpole end. Taken a long attempt to clear, broken up by Rosetto. Now taken by Hughes out of the scrum. Hughes lost track of it. Now taken by McCarthy. Broken up, taken back by Schneider. Schneider pushes it into the wall, into the Brookline end. Broken up in the corner, now pinned to the boards. Brookline comes out with it. Skating with it now is Sujin Koo. Koo trying to weave her way through, gains the blue line, but it's knocked away. McCarthy passes it back to Lackey. Now it's sent up the line. Taken now by Burke. Burke gains the blue line, fires a shot, saved by Carew Lyons. Rosetto now sends it up the line. Walled off by Dacey, and that is how the second period is going to end. Through two, the score here at Walter Brown. The Walpole Timberwolves 2, the Brookline Warriors 0. Walpole with the lead off of a first period score by Nora Kelly and a second period score, I believe, by Elena Gavoni. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan here at Walter Brown Arena. Remember to like, subscribe, and post in the live chat. And I will be back on the mic after a brief break for the third period. Stay tuned. Hello, everybody. Back on the mic. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Walter Brown Arena on the campus of Boston University in Boston, Massachusetts, to bring you tonight's Bay State Conference Varsity High School Girls Hockey Contest between the Brookline High Warriors and the Walpole High Timberwolves. As we get ready for the third and final period, Walpole holding a 2-0 lead over Brookline off a first period score from Nora Kelly and a second period goal from Elena Gavoni. So we'll see if Walpole holds on to the lead or even potentially extends it, or if Brookline is able to potentially get on the board and get back in this game. Brookline has been struggling to generate good offensive looks. Scoreboard doesn't have either team's shots on goal. But for Brookline, I cannot imagine it's very high, simply because I haven't had to say Madison Clark's name a whole lot so far tonight. Walpole trying to improve to 4-5-2 on the season and make themselves a 2-game win streak after a big win they got on Saturday against Wellesley. Brookline trying to get back in the win column and improve to 3-10, excuse me. But first step, Brookline is hoping to score their first goal since last Monday's game against Wayland Weston. They were shut out against Braintree last Saturday and are still looking for their first goal here today. And it's tough to say exactly what Brookline needs to adjust because, a lot of, missed opportunities are just a result of, someone slipping and falling on the ice, or a pass just out of reach of someone's stick, or, a really good defensive play by your opponent. But if there is one thing that would probably help Brookline, it's, being able to make some rushes in tandem, get a couple of players going on a rush, and not like on opposite sides of the ice, but like near to each other. So maybe one can set a bit of a pick to allow the one skating with the puck to get a bit of a cleaner skate across the blue line, so they can have a bit more space as they start off on the attack. I don't know, just spitballing here. I'm not a hockey coach. I'm not a hockey player. So take all my words with a grain of salt. But those are just my 2 cents for whatever that's worth. Third period, 15 minutes on the clock for the rest of regulation. Here we go. Face-off goes to Kaylee Walsh, pushes it into the Brookline end where it's taken by Riley Lackey. Sent back out to the neutral zone where it's deflected by Kate Schneider. Pushed up the line for a second by Birdie Hawkins, then pushed back by Schneider, now taken by Shayna Chin. Chin whiffs on a pass there, and it's recovered by Walsh. Pass goes back to Cassie Burke, now pushed into the Brookline end, and that's going to be an early icing. Again, a high number of icing calls against Walpole here tonight, but I mean the strategy has been working. Keep sending these fast-moving pucks up the ice, and if they happen to land on a teammate's stick, great. And if not, as Brookline almost got a chance on the attack there, but a good save by Clark, and the rebound went off the side of the net. Now it's sent back out to the neutral zone where it's taken by Lackey. Lackey sends it up the line, but it's taken by Elena Gavoni. Gavoni gains the blue line, turns around, gives to Olivia Bonarigo. Couple quick passes, just misses Graceffa. Graceffa recovers, pass back, intercepted by Grayson Davis, but that is a long push of the puck. No icing call. It's chased down by Bonarigo, sent around the back. Now a long pass out of reach of Graceffa. It's taken by Etta Reed, passed across to Sophia Hauser, up to Julia Janowski, who gains the blue line, but right at the moment of a line change. Long pass through the neutral zone, broken up by Clara Tebow and cleanly stolen by Shayna Chin. Pass back to Reed, pass up to Tebow. Tebow gains the blue line, but couldn't take the puck with her as it's taken by Bonarigo. Around the boards, taken by Chin. Chin escapes the pressure, tries to send a pass, not there, broken up by Graceffa. Hauser pushes it back to the corner. Taken now by England, sent around. And it's pushed through the neutral zone. And all the way down, late icing call there, as we'll head back to the Walpole end. Walpole end face-off, being scrummed for by several players. Coming out with it is Burke. Burke lifts one off the boards. Race to the puck, won by Walpole. Pass to the middle, just misses Burke's stick. And Caroline Hughes controls it, skating on the counter. Hughes tripped up from behind, but the pass gets ahead, just out of reach of Sujin Koo. As she chases it down in the corner, tries a pass, it's walled off, taken by Kelly. Kelly's clear is walled off. Brookline trying to pursue, but it's knocked into the neutral zone and taken by Rosetto. Rosetto pushes it into the Walpole end. Ava Dacey chases it down, sends it around the boards. Schneider sends it into the neutral zone, taken by Riley Lackey. Lackey sends it into the Walpole end, sent back out by Dacey, taken by Jenna Rosetto, back to the Walpole end. Dacey again whiffs on the clear this time. Hughes knocks it over to Casey McCarthy, couldn't get a clean stick on it. The attempted clear walled off by Lackey, but on the second attempt, Walsh manages to push it to the neutral zone. Rosetto takes it, tries a backhanded clear, but it's walled off. A chance on the rebound, just barely broken up from Schneider. And now a pass around the back gets to Schneider. Sent around the corner for Bonarigo, who tries a shot, bounces right to the slot. Out of reach of everybody, but just clear it out back to England. England drops it into the slot, and the putback is scored. Took a couple chances. The first one went off the pole, actually, but Kate Schneider, number 18, puts that one in the back of the net. That is goal number 3 for Walpole. So a 3-0 lead for the visitors as Walpole wins the ensuing faceoff. Up the line it goes into the corner. And it is ultimately collected by Etta Reed. Long pass misses. And this one is going to have to be turned aside by Clark, so no icing. Into the corner, it's chased down by Burke. Attempted clear, kept on the attack by Julia Janowski. Janowski takes it back. Broken up by Gavoni, but Gavoni lost her footing. Now gets tangled up with Izzy Pace. Pace tried to pass, but it goes off a skate. Now a chance! Saved by Clark off the quick shot from Grayson Davis. Long clear, walled off by Pace. Pace fires a shot, blocked. Recovered by Pace, another shot, blocked again. Janowski trying to wrestle for it. But too many blue shirts in there, and it's taken away by the Timberwolves. Taken back for a second by Janowski, but deflected away by Graceffa into the neutral zone. Hauser lifts it into the corner. Around it goes, taken by Burke. Cleared out to the neutral zone. A race for the puck is won by Walpole. Pushed wide of the net. Now it's pressed up against the corner. Coming out with it is Thibault. Thibault's attempted pass is walled off by Graceffa. Graceffa keeping with it, sends a long pass back out. Long shot from Bonarigo is walled off and pushed forward. Race for the puck, potential chance. Clara Thibault knocked away from her, didn't corral the puck cleanly. Off a line change, now it is Jenna Rosetto gaining the blue line. Backhander deflected by England, but England clears it out, taken by Lackey. Lackey pass across, misses Shayna Chin, but she recovers it. Chin skating around the back. Knocked away from behind, and that puck goes flying up the ice. Chased down by Bonarigo. Bonarigo coming around the back, taken down, and that's going to be, is that a penalty against Walpole? I guess they're calling like a trip or a slash or something against Olivia Bonarigo. But it looks like Bonarigo had the puck, so I'm very confused. You know, those who follow my broadcast know I'm a big advocate for respecting the officials. You know, if you don't, if you attack the calls they make, then they're going to walk, and we're already facing a national shortage of officials. And they are absolutely necessary for these games to happen. That said, you know, if I am confused by a call, I will say so. It looks like the officials are even conferring a bit. As they're discussing it with the Walpole coach. Looks like the penalty call will stand. And it's going to be a 2-minute minor for Bonarigo as the faceoff almost goes through on a pass to the slot. So Brookline on the power play. Sophia Hauser tries a long insert, but it's walled off and cleared out of the slot. Riley Lackey keeps it on the attack, gets it to Izzy Pace. Pace holding it, whiffs on the shot there, tried a desperate backhand pass, but it goes right to Elena Gavoni. And Gavoni lifts a long clear, and Gavoni's going to chase down her own clear and shoot it, but just barely turned aside by Carew Lyons. It's recovered by Colleran. Colleran skating around with it, wrestled away by Pace, but couldn't keep with the puck, and it's taken back by Gavoni. Gavoni lost it, and Janowski clears it out to the neutral zone where it's taken by Burke. Pass across to England. England lifts it, knocked down by the skate of Hauser, and lifted out to the neutral zone where it's going to be instantly taken by England. Sent back to the Brookline end where it's taken by Hauser. Hauser across. Now a long pass up, broken up and intercepted by Gavoni, but stolen back. Now Hauser gains the blue line herself. Gets around a defender, but the puck gets away from her for a bit. She chases it down, still skating around with it. Hauser tries a backhand pass, but it's deflected. Attempted clear, walled off by Clara Thibault. Long hit is well wide. The attempted clear stopped by Chin. Chin hands it off. Now passed back. Hauser whiffs a bit on that pass, and it gets away from her. Short-handed chance for Colleran, but too many white jerseys, and it's chased down by Thibault. Thibault pushes it into the neutral zone, pushed back out by England. Off the boards it goes. It's taken by Reed. Reed around the back. Lifts it up. Broken up. We are back on even strength. No shots on goal for Brookline during that power play as Gavoni passes it back to Burke. Burke, a long shot, misses wide. Now Thibault clears it out, but it's taken by Burke. Burke pushes it forward. Around the corner it goes. taken by Chin. Chin whiffs on the pass there, and it's taken by Kelly, passed back to England. England sends it up the line to Bonarigo. Bonarigo around the corner, sends it to the opposite corner. Attempted clear, deflects up in the air, and it's kept on the attack by Walpole. Chin now takes it around the back, sending it around the corner for Tebow. Deflects ahead, and now skating with it is Sujin Koo. Koo gets around a defender. Shot is saved by Clark. Taken out the back as it's sent around the corner. And now it's going to go all the way down to the Brookline end, and that's going to be an icing call. A nice move by Sujin Koo got Brookline probably their best chance to score all night, but a nice save by Madison Clark keeps Brookline at 0. 5:57 left in this contest. Walpole leads 3-0. Face-off won by Brookline, but it gets away from Rosetto, and she has to chase it down in her own end. Attempted clear, walled off by Walpole, now ricocheting around. Dacey fires a shot, it's blocked wide. Deflecting around, taken by Schneider. Pass goes back, long shot, knocked down inside the slot. And they're all scrumming for it just outside of the net, and it's covered up by Carew Lions. And we will have a face-off in the Brookline end. Face-off is corralled by Walpole. Pass goes back to England. Long shot saved by Carew Lions, and she covers it up. Face-off controlled again by Walpole. Graceffa couldn't get a shot off there, and it is cleared out to the neutral zone by Caroline Hughes. And I think we've got a penalty call against Walpole for that hard hit on Hughes. Looks like Ava England is going to go in, I believe, for a cross check. You know, it is a bit tough. Caroline Hughes, one of the shorter players out on the ice, and so can be a bit hard to judge how high you're allowed to go on a check there. As Brookline on the power play once again, this puck gets lifted out to the neutral zone. Shayna Chin trying to chase after it. It's knocked into open ice where it's taken by Sophia Hauser. Hauser passes it up. It goes into the neutral zone, taken by Bonarigo. Sends it up to Colleran. Pass misses Gavoni, taken by Hauser. Hauser kind of whiffed on that pass there, and it's taken back by Gavoni. Gavoni sends it back to Bonarigo. Bonarigo's pass, a bunch of weird ricochets off some Brookline players, and it's taken ultimately by Chin. Chin, pass up, just out of reach of her target, Birdie Hawkins. Stolen back now by Walpole, weaving through. A shot goes wide off the stick of Burke. Now Bonarigo on the attack. Around the corner it goes, taken by Hauser. Hauser, pass across to Tebow. Tebow gains the blue line. Tebow tried to pass, but broken up by Bonarigo. And Bonarigo comes out with it off the back of the net. Now a high lift from Gavoni. And it's covered up by Carew Lions. 30 seconds left on this power play. And once again, Brookline struggling to generate offense even with the advantage. Got to give credit to Walpole's skaters out there. They've been fighting for every puck. Lackey sends it across to Izzy Pace, goes up to Janowski, pass back to Pace. Pace gains the blue line, broken up, but recovered by Janowski. Backhand pass intercepted. Bonarigo skating with it, gains the blue line, fires a shot, sails high. Around the boards it goes, and a clear out. And I think as we go back to even strength, this will be an icing call against Brookline. 3:04 left in this contest. Walpole still with a 3-0 lead. Looking well on their way to their 4th win of the season. And a chance to help solidify their spot within the top 32. Face-off won by Gavoni, goes back to Burke. Burke's shot blocked by Casey McCarthy. McCarthy backhand pass goes up to Koo, then up to Hughes, gets away from Hughes, but a loss of footing. A loss of footing. Caroline Hughes fires a shot, saved by Clark. Pad save by Madison Clark. After that big chance for Caroline Hughes, as the Walpole defender slipped and fell for what was almost a costly turnover. Face off, deflects several which ways and is taken by Gavoni. Gavoni skating with it, pushes it up for herself, fires a shot. Where'd the puck go? It was saved by Carew Lyons. She just couldn't find it for a sec. One of those shots where even the goalie is not entirely sure if they stopped it. Face off is pushed but recovered by Bonarigo, kept in the Brookline end. Around the corner it goes, taken by Rosetto. Rosetto pass, couple of breakups, and it's taken not cleanly by anyone really, as it's just covered up by Carew Lyons. Just over 2 minutes left here in the third. Face off, controlled by Lackey. Sent around the boards, out of reach of Izzy Pace. It's sent back around by Bonarigo. Now broken up, taken for a second by Brookline. Brookline now with a chance. Grayson Davis with the 2-on-1. Davis approaches, fires, glove, saved by Clark. Smart defense by Walpole. The defender saw Davis coming in from the side with a low percentage shot angle and instead covered the pass, the potential pass to Izzy Pace. Faceoff goes back to Hauser. A long shot deflects wide. Into the corner. Davis takes it past, misses at a read, and goes all the way back to the Brookline end. Around it goes. Hauser sends it up to Davis. Davis moves it further up, but England takes it. Shot is blocked. Davis kind of whiffed on the puck there. It's taken back by England. England fires a shot, saved by Carew Lyons. Now a long pass misses. Bit of a miscommunication about where the teammate was, and so that will be an icing. A minute 5 left in this contest. Walpole with a 3-0 lead. Goals have been scored by Nora Kelly, Elena Gavoni, and Kate Schneider. Long shot deflected off the pole. Almost goal number 4 for the Timberwolves off of a nice redirect, but it goes off the post. Hawkins passes it off the boards to Tebow. Tebow, her pass broken up by Dacey. Now taken in the Walpole end by Burke. Burke sends it off the boards, and that will be an icing call. 33 seconds left here. As we get ready for another Walpole end face-off. We've had a high number of face-offs on Walpole's side of the ice, and yet for the most part Walpole has been dominating possession tonight. Face-off won by Brookline. Julia Janowski fires a wrister. It's turned aside by Clark. Attempted clear, broken up. Davis approaching. Davis whiffs on the shot. And now Nora Kelly skating with it on the empty net. Fires and misses wide. Recovered by Bonarigo, but broken up. Back by Colleran. Now another breakup pass up to a wide open Grayson Davis. Can she take a shot? Pass! And it couldn't be redirected in by Janowski, and that ends it. Davis went for the extra pass, but it did not pay off. And so that will end this game. The final score, the Walpole Timberwolves 3, the Brookline Warriors 0. Walpole scored a goal in each of the 3 periods. Nora Kelly got her team on the board with a goal in the first. Elena Gavoni scored 1 in the second. And Kate Schneider scored in the third. So 2 freshman goals for the Timberwolves to help lead them to victory here against the Warriors. Walpole improves to 4-5-2 on the year with their 2nd consecutive win. Brookline falls to 2-11. Thank you all so much for tuning in here tonight. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Happy to have brought you live coverage of today's Bay State Conference Varsity High School Girls Hockey Contest. If you enjoyed the live stream, be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams, including all home games for Brookline girls and boys hockey. And if you've got anything you'd like to say, I encourage you to say it in the comments section down below after the stream ends. Also go down below to the description section to find out more about our local charity spotlight, Language Virtual. If you're a high school student who is multilingual, whether you're from Brookline or Walpole, go online and find out how you can register to volunteer to teach English language lessons to students in need around the globe. If you or someone you know is a student in need of free online English language lessons, you can go online to that same website to register as a student. And if you just feel like donating to the cause, again, you can go to the website. One last note in the live chat, Amy Colleran, way to go Walpole, thanks for the great announcing, Jesse. Thank you for the kind words, Amy. And Vilma Michienzi, saw you bring in the good vibes for Walpole as well. If you check out the bottom right corner of your screen, you can see the URL to my personal website, jessesports.com. Find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide for teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Below that, my email address, jgms88@gmail.com. Email me directly. You can just contact me directly with any questions or requests you may have. And below that, the URL to my Instagram account, instagram.com/jgms88. Follow me on Instagram, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that is going to do it. Walpole 3, Brookline 0. From Walter Brown Arena in Boston, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.